These tires have a lot of tread left on them, but I'm going to replace them anyway because of the dry rot. It looks to me like the previous owner left the trailer parked for a long time, and the part of the tires on the ground is where the cracks are. I've hauled on these tires recently, and they're probably fine to keep using for a little while, but I figured I'd go ahead and change them before I had a problem. Okay, first thing first, let all the air out and pull out the valve core. All right, with the valve core out and the air out, we got to unseat the bead of the tire off the wheel. So we'll see if we can break that. This might look a little funny, but it's called RuGlyde. It's a rubber lubricant that tire shops use to mount tires. I'm going to put a little bit around the bead, see if I can work that in there and help slip it off. Okay, I've got it in my H-frame hydraulic press now. If I had and I do at the other shop, I have a tire changing stand that can break the bead, but I don't have anything here, so we're just going to try to improvise. Oh, it just popped. That's awesome. There we go. One side done. Alright, now let's get the other side. There are other DIY ways to break the bead. You can use the tongue jack on your trailer. You could drive over the tire with your truck, although this might be better done with a helper. You could jack your truck up and set it down on your tire. And I'm sure there's more ways. This is just what I came up with in the moment. I didn't RuGlyde this side. I'm wondering if that's making a difference. Or I just need to get a 2x4 under there and push on more of it, maybe. I did not film the next 3 tires, but what I figured out when I was working on those was putting 2 pieces of 2x4 as shown in this picture make breaking the bead pretty easy. Here we go. Both sides are free. Alright, with both beads broken, now we got to work the tire off the wheel. There's one side. Now I got to pull the other side out. There we go. There it is. Alright, these new tires have a symmetric tread pattern, so they can go on either way. I think that's pretty standard for trailer tires. And I'm just going to take some of that RuGlyde and put it on the tires before I mount them, and then get to work. I think I want to put it on this way, but I might be wrong and I could regret it. We'll see. To explain that further, the drop center of the wheel is not necessarily in the middle of the wheel, and I find it easier to mount the tire on the side closest to the drop center, which has the shortest bead seat. Also, what I'm doing now can be done with the tire laying on the ground. put the tire down first, then put the wheel on top of the tire and work that edge over as I'm doing here. Had a critical phone call I had to take. Let's pick this back up. Looks like my lubricant has dried up, so we'll add a little more. All right, there's one side. Gonna lube up this side too. All right, here we go. Lubricating the tire for dismounting and mounting makes a huge difference. I didn't put a lot on the second tire I did, and it was tough. But I used more and used a toothbrush to spread it around on the last two tires, and it was much easier. It's really important to get that down in the drop. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time on the other side. I filmed myself doing the first tire, but I probably should have filmed the last tire instead. It really did get easier each time as I figured out the little tricks. For instance, use the angled side of the tire iron and not the hook side, but try with the angle up and down to figure out what you like better. I ended up preferring it angled up into the tire instead of down around the edge of the wheel. It's easier to slide in and out this way, but you do have to push down more so it doesn't slip out when you're prying the bead over. Alright, there it is. Now we got to seat the bead. I already got the valve core out, so I'm going to take a regular air nozzle and inflate with that until the bead seats. Then we'll put the core back in and fill it up properly. There we go. One pop, that's one side. Gets a little scary when your face is that close to the tire, but it does take quite a bit to seat it sometimes. But as soon as you take it off, take the nozzle off, when you don't have the valve core in there, it immediately lets the pressure back down. It's got like 10 or 15 in it now, so I'm just going to fill it up to 45 or 35 or 55, whatever I decide to do. And that'll be it. Okay, that's it. I guess my thoughts on it are the hardest part is breaking the bead using the hydraulic press. I don't know how else I would have done it if I didn't do that. But in terms after that, removing the tire, getting the new one on there, seating the bead, inflating it, it's pretty straightforward. It's actually, I fought this less than I'll fight a dirt bike tire sometimes, so really not all that bad. For reference, this is a 205/75 R15, and it is a load range D, so it's an 8-ply tire. And yeah, that's it. So now you just got to do it 3 more times and they'll all be done. Actually, didn't really like how these lug nuts came off, so I'm going to put a little anti-seize on them. Okay, 3 more.